Well, I put the seat in here. It just looks so much better than the other one. It's just barely clear, and I might have to cut that little slider handle and make it smaller or something. But this one's just a manual seat. The other one's power. And here's the power seat. It's dirty still, I haven't cleaned it. But I got a bunch of switches here. And I just hooked some pretty big wires up. Let's see if it works. This back switch raises and lowers the back. It's working good. This middle switch is raising and lowering the whole thing. And the front switch I can hear it clicking. There it goes. And that looks like forward and back works. Major up and down works. Now that raises and lowers the front. It's working. Look like switches might need a little work. But up and down in the front. Up and down for the whole seat. Backward, forward for the whole seat. And looks like up and down for the rear. So that's good. All the switches work. Motors work. Now I can go ahead and take this seat out here. It's just bolted onto boards and screwed on. And I'll try to get it out. See where this one fits. The tilt and stuff looks like it's kind of froze up here. But I'll take that cover off, get some oil in it. We'll get this seat kind of put in there and screwed down. Alright, I got these seats in. They look pretty good. They're a little toed in right there in the middle, but I got them straight with the rest of the car. They're actually kind of parallel. They are towed in a little, but the car gets real small up here. And I had to clear my arm, and I've got the door touching the seat over there. But anyway, I was starting to work on this door panel. And I made it out of 2 pieces of wood. So what I did was just glue these 2 pieces of wood together, put a piece of the fabric on it. I tried 2 or 3 of these different little plastic plugs. See, this one will almost go in a hole. I tried putting them in over here, but one does push in, but see, even after they push in, they won't really hold, and I can't get them in all the way because they're made to hold on the edge of something. So I used a little smaller one. I don't know where it went. I'm pretty sure it's not this one. This one's broke. But I made one. Most of the door is going to just be sheet metal. The only place I really got thick stuff is right there in the front of the door. I'll figure out something different, maybe put a screw in it or something. But and then I glued this all together, and it should snap in there and hold. Let's see if I can find. I got a whole bunch of different sizes, different lengths. This kind of looks like the one that I was using. Yeah, I'll take a couple of these, or maybe it was this one. I think it was this one. It's about 3/4 of an inch long. Let's see if it fits. Yeah, see, that one's going through the fabric, through the wood, and it fits the hole that I bored here in the sheet metal. How about that? It snaps right in. This is nice and snug, so it fits a double piece of fabric and the wood, and holds this in. I got a little bit of room to play with it. It's in solid, and if I get a screwdriver or something, I can pull this lock out of here. There we go. And it'll come right off. So I think that's the right length, and it'll hold that in there good. Start working on my door panel here. I cut it down about 1/8 of an inch below the aluminum. Had a lot of trouble figuring out what kind of snaps to put in here. I got 1,000 of them, and I think I maybe found 20 that'll work. But I got it where I can snap it onto the door here. Up here where I got the wood, I have to use a different kind, and they're really hard to get out. I may bore a little bit because the way these clips are designed, they're designed to go through a piece of sheet metal and then flare out in the back. And I tried some different holes and different stuff, different size bits and things, because from here to there in the front, that's all this MDF, so it's pretty hard. So when you go to push the lock in, it won't even go in because that stuff don't give at all. So what I'm gonna wind up using is these things here. They have little teeth on them. I can see I can squash them in there, but they're awfully tough, and they're hard to get out. And most likely I'll break them getting them out. So I'll save those for the very last when everything's all done. And find me a good size hole here. I've got all kinds of different holes. A few thousandths. I need a good set of drill bits. But this will fit in. That one's too small, and that one's too big, so it's right in between those two. That's where that's gonna have to be. I may have to buy another drill bit, because this one's 3 350 and 390, and it just falls out of the 390, and if I push it into 350, I'll have to destroy it to see even just a couple teeth in there is enough to stick it into that wood. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll have to figure out something. I don't want to destroy my clips every time I try to take door panel off, but I'm only going to have two in it. One towards the top and one towards the bottom. I went with 3 here on the bottom, 3 on top, and a couple more right in here, because of the way this metal is in here. It's not really sheet. I may put one more here, but out of all these clips I only had like 12 that I didn't ruin, so it may not be symmetric, but I got it symmetric on the bottom and I got 3 in the top, so that'll be good enough. Put 5 on the bottom, 3 on top, and now I'm going to go over to the other door. I decided to go ahead and bore all my holes, leave that door mounted, and get my clips where they fit, and then come back here and cut out my little piece, because when I cut this little piece first, the drill wants to walk off of the wood. So I'll just leave the wood all together, drill my holes, and then once the holes are drilled, it'll be pretty easy to trim that a little. And the only reason that's trimmed is because it's gonna overlap just a little bit, so I think this will be real close to flush with that aluminum piece. If it's not, it's not. I'll finish trimming this one, I have to do a little in the front, and I'll get the holes bored for that one, and I'll wrap this, and I'll see how much I actually do need to bring this down. I've got it about 1/8 of an inch, and I think that might be a little too much. We'll see. One step at a time, trying to figure this stuff out. Hopefully I'll have a product that looks pretty good when I'm done. And I still gotta figure out some way of putting pull handles on the inside. Haven't figured out what to do with that, because this door handle here bracket is fairly solid. I can't be pulling on this thing because it's just glued in up here on top. So I think probably like an old Mustang or something that's pretty big that I could screw into this, and I can put a little fiberglass behind it. That'll strengthen it. Hopefully I'll do that before I put the door panels on. Don't know what to do yet. Trying to find this stuff off eBay. It's expensive. They want 60-70 bucks for one. Well, it's okay if you're restoring an old Mustang, but if you don't really need just that exact thing, it kind of makes it difficult to figure it out and make something. I didn't show you a lot of this, but basically I've got my board cut. I've got 2 holes in it. See, they're marked here. This is the front, and that's what the panel looks like. I used my upholstery adhesive there. Glued this all on. You can see over there I've got that one in. And I'm going to put this one in. Let's see, this is up. Yeah. Kind of dumb trying to do this with one hand, but I got that where it slides all the way up in there. Might have to play with it a little. I've got my 2 holes bored here, and basically get this insulation out. There we go. There it is. That's the panel goes right there, and it'll hold it pretty tight. Close the door, we'll look at it from the other side. Yeah, you can see there. Don't look too bad. I'm going to have some blue gap in there, but the kick panel itself is good, and it's going all the way to the front, so the whole thing looks pretty good. This one here is the same. Got it sitting in there. I've got a pretty big angle there on the bottom. I don't know exactly why I did that, but it was clearing something. So there's the door on both sides and the kick panels. It's starting to look pretty good. I don't know why, but somehow I thought I needed another yard. I don't know what the deal is. I think it's probably 40 inches from seam to seam, and it's actually 44 inches or something like that. But I've got plenty in this one piece to cut these 2 rear kick panels out. I ordered another yard, so I don't know, I've got some stuff like this for headliner. I've got a roll of that. One of the things that I did notice is that once I get these 2 back side panels in here, I'll have about 6 inches between the side panel and the headliner. I'm going to have to put a little shelf or something in there, and also I'm going to have to do something here. Let me get this out of the way. I'm going to have to do something about how this floor is, because the floor is like 3 or 4 inches from the skin. I either have to put something in on top of this floor, or cut something out there. You really can't see it, but it's not going to be tight, so I have to do something with this floor. I might just cut me a cardboard template and make a piece out of fiberglass, put that in, In fact, that's probably a pretty good idea, because it's going to be really very difficult to try to put a 1/2-inch piece in there. Anyway, that's another problem here. I've got these laid out roughly, so I know I've got plenty of material, and I've got quite a bit here, so that'll be enough to make any little round ledges or anything like that that I might need. I may make 2 more pieces that go up there on the dash. Who knows? I'll wind up using it somewhere. And I do have a lot of the trunk to do. There's nothing really big enough here to do anything on the trunk. But I do have another yard coming, so by 40 inches, so I think a yard tall here, 40 inches, I could make two inside panels for this trunk. But that's another whole ball game. But looks real nice now. And I got my die for my seats. So interior's coming along. Another couple days I'll get this back in here. Like I said, I'll have to figure out the floor and how am I going to seal it here on top. And I'll probably just cover this whole thing with wax paper, tinfoil or something, and make a fiberglass thin skin, and then cut it up and put it inside for the headliner. But that's a whole nother ball game. But for the most part, my inside panels are in, and they're going to fit good. I got the snaps figured out. They'll be good. So next I can cut up my insulation to where I need it, and put my snaps in these kick panels. I get this front end all sorted out, get the insulation glued down, and press on with the next thing. Alright, I'm moving on these side panels. You can see I got that one roughly cut. Goes up in there, and you can kind of see it's about 6 inches. Well, it's actually 4 inches from the panel to the edge of the car here. So here's the drivers. What I did was I need to have like a shelf on it. So what I did, I just screwed a piece of 4-inch board on there. It's good enough to stay straight, and I've got 3 layers of fiberglass on that. I taped it so hopefully the fiberglass won't stick. It did run down in there, so it's gonna stick to some degree. I need to clean up my mess right here, or I'll have a solid piece of fiberglass on the floor. Looks like it ran down. That's alright, that's the inside. And I got some leakage on the outside. But again, I'm gonna, once I get my board out and get that separated, then I'll put some more fiberglass to brace it. But that's what this looks like. Fiberglass wiped up here. Oh, it looks like it's going to try to glue itself to the floor. Well, that'll clean that up. So this is gonna be all right, I think. I don't know how I'm gonna attach it to the inside. I think I'll put a couple clips in the back of the door, and then one back here by the tank. I'm not sure how I'll do that. And then I'll cover this whole piece with that red stuff. So now I'm gonna cut this one up to where it fits in there right. And then I'll screw a 4-inch board on there. I'll use that board right over there so I can make my shelf. And then I'll screw it together and put some fiberglass on it. Here's the other one screwed together. I taped the inside of this one this time because I think, well, I know the fiberglass ran down it, so it leaked in this crack right here, and it's probably gonna glue that board to the fiberglass, and I might have a little trouble getting it off. So I taped it on the inside. I know this will leak too, so it won't stick to the board. It'll just stick to the tape, and I should be able to get that board out pretty easy. But I'm just got my glass laying here. I'm going to cut me 3 pieces, and we'll goop this one up. There it is, all gooped up. Got my little baby heater here. It's a good one, diesel heater, 170,000 BTU. Anyway, I put some of my resin on this first one. This one's soaked really good. So I'll just close my door up here. In 5-10 minutes it'll be 75 degrees in here. It cools off pretty fast, but I've got it blowing against this steel door, and circulates good. I did quite a bit of work on that heater, and doesn't smell at all now. I've got I think 4.5 gallons of diesel and half a gallon of gas in it, so it fires up good. It's been running maybe 2 minutes. It's already got it up to 64 degrees. It was probably 50 in here when I started a couple minutes ago. But anyway, there's my 2 back panels. I'll have to hook up a bottom on them. But that's the side and the top. I'll figure out some way of mounting it. And, I put 2 screws in the door. clips. And I'll probably make a bracket where it hooks in the bottom, or the back, somewhere up there on top. Anyway, let my fiberglass dry and see what happens. Alright, I got my 2 panels made. They're real strong. You can see this one. And I kind of hacked it out a little so it would fit the curve. And this one's pretty straight. Now I need to put where that piece of cardboard is there, I need to put a flat 90 on it, about that big, so I can screw it into the floor. That one fits pretty good. The other one, I need a little trimming on it. It's just sitting in here right now, but you can see that it's half an inch out right here where my finger is. That's got to get cut up a little, and it's not, it's stuck down on the bottom there. But I got to take about a half an inch out of this corner. Probably take it about 10 inches in, right about here, and that'll let it come flush here against the door. But that one there is sitting in pretty good. I might have a little trimming to do on it, but it's right where I need it on the door jamb, and it's parallel with the floor. I probably ought to just make a piece there rather than trying to put it over the top of the cardboard and then pull the cardboard off. Not exactly whether I should just make a piece, a double or triple layer, and glue it on, or try to make it one piece. It'd be much stronger, of course, if I could make it in one piece to start with. So anyway, that'll be good for the upholstery there. And then I still got this big ugly mess on the window and stuff. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Who knows, I might just take one sheet, cover the outside, we'll see. I gotta finish this up first.